Weeks I have been waiting for this day, and it has finally arrived. We have the winner of our contest. It's the Naming the Baby with the Gladys Porter Zoo, and it's the baby gorilla. Lisa, tell us about our winner. I won't give it away yet. Let Lisa do it.
On May 27th, 1999, a gorilla was born. Nobody knew, but this gorilla would go on to be one of the most memorable animals of all time. The gorilla was named Harambe, a Swahili term meaning communal labor or working together.
Children. And we've got the baby gorilla right there, Dan. That's the child
Harambe.
You just named.
There's Harambe.
Harambe is her name. Once again, what does it mean again?
It means pulling together, coming together, sharing and caring about one another.
And what is that, like Swahili?
It's a Swahili word, yeah.
Oh, wow. This is so fantastic. Congratulations.
Harambe grew up at this zoo in Brownsfield, Texas, until being transferred to the Cincinnati Zoo in 2014 so he could join a new social group. Here, he would play along with fellow gorillas, Chewy and Mara, and the zoo hoped to eventually breed him in the future. However, just 2 days after his 17th birthday, tragedy struck.
A zoo under fire for shooting and killing an endangered gorilla instead of tranquilizing him.
A police investigation into the parents of the 3-year-old who got inside a gorilla.
Officials say they started hearing people screaming around the gorilla enclosure and then quickly sealed.
The images jaw-dropping.
Oh my God!
A 450-pound gorilla dragging around a 3-year-old boy like a rag doll.
On May 29th, 2016, a 4-year-old boy climbed up and over the barrier of the gorilla enclosure and fell 15 feet into a moat. It was here that Harambe grabbed the child by the leg, dragged him across the moat, and then up onto land, where he continued to hold on to the child. Firefighters arrived on the scene shortly after, and a zoo employee shot and killed Harambe so that the child could be retrieved. The immediate response to the tragic events were polarized, with some believing that Harambe was innocent and only curious about the child and meant him no harm, while others believed that the gorilla needed to be killed in order to safely retrieve the child. No matter which side you were on, this event sent shocks around the United States.
Harambe's memorial makes me feel sad, mainly just because he's not with us anymore. But it also makes me very happy and excited just that we were able to recognize Harambe for the impact in the gorilla that he was.
Well, it makes me feel sad, but also comforted, knowing that so many people came together for an important cause, and instead of forgetting about him and just blowing it off, they really cared enough to make his story live on.
It just kind of tells the story about what can happen when an animal is caught in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I think it tells us a story. It's not just a statue, it's just not a platform, but it is a representation of what once was.
I believe Harambe's memorial tells us a tragic story.
Harambe's memorial is able to argue these feelings of life and happiness by using a rhetorical device known as pathos. Pathos is an appeal to emotion, specifically sadness and loss in this case. People are very quick to attach themselves to the emotions, and it makes it much easier for the memorial to convey its argument.
Harambe to me was not just a gorilla, he was just something greater. With him not being with us anymore, it just kind of makes it more apparent.
I actually don't believe he was a hero. I just believe he was, put in a really unfortunate situation that was more than he could handle.
If you want him to be your hero, if that inspires you, then that's good.
Ethos refers to characteristics that set someone apart from someone else. In this case, Harambe's story and popularity set him apart as a gorilla from other animals and made people much more likely to pay attention to his story and to his monument.
In many ways, Harambe's image has become a symbol, with a statue of him being placed in Wall Street to represent a more simple and peaceful time.
Harambe's story still inspires people years after his tragic death, and his memorial now stands to make sure his story is never forgotten, and to remind people to always be curious and keep doing things that they love.